Inside the mother's warm womb, an unborn child suddenly finds a voice. With the help of a device built by Dr. Ying, he speaks through the amniotic water, and a daring experiment about memory, identity, and human life moves toward its end.
My child, can you hear me?
Where am I? There is water all around me, and I hear a deep pounding far away like distant thunder. It is so good here. I want to stay forever. I do not want to be born. I am afraid of the outside.
That is the amniotic fluid, and that sound is my heartbeat. You are in your mother's body, my child. But one day you must still come out. We will talk about your fear slowly.
Mother, what is this cord on my belly for? And the light filtering in from outside is red and gold, like sunset in Shitao village.
That is your umbilical cord. It keeps you alive. But how do you know Sitao village? Do you really know me, even the little girl I used to be?
I do, because the things you can no longer summon are bright inside my mind. The first time you saw yourself was not in the cracked mirror at grandfather's house, but in the surface of a water bucket during a drought year, when you saw a dusty little face streaked with sweat.
Ah, child. Now I remember it. But how can you remember it more clearly than I do?
Because you never truly lost it. You only forgot how to call it back, and here in me, those old scenes are still illuminated.
Then the mother tells the child that someone else is listening from outside. A fetus should not be able to speak in the amniotic water at all, yet a machine designed by Dr. Ying has made this impossible conversation real.
Hello, child. I study brain science. The human brain has astonishing capacity. We once believed vast regions of it were unused, but our research found they were not blank at all. They were full of immense stores of information, and that information turned out to be memory inherited from those who came before us.
I understand only part of it, but you have explained it to my mother many times, and what she understands, some part of me can understand too.
Inherited memory is common in the living world. A spider weaving its web or a bee building its hive is carrying memory passed down as instinct. Human beings have it as well, only in a more complete form. Such an enormous mass of information cannot be transmitted by DNA alone. It is recorded deeper in the quantum states of the atoms within the hereditary medium. That is how quantum biology was born.
Doctor, please say it more simply. I only finished primary school.
After primary school, Mother worked the fields. Later, she could not endure that place any longer, the place where even the water tasted bitter, so she went out alone to earn a living. She served in restaurants, worked as a nanny, pasted paper boxes in factories, cooked on construction sites, and when things were hardest, survived by collecting scrap.
Yes, good child. Go on. I like hearing you tell it. It was only after I became a cleaner and errand worker at the institute that Dr. Ying began to notice me.
She asked you where you would choose to be born if you were allowed to begin life again. You answered at once that you would choose this place, a big city, the life of a city person.
She looked at me for a very long time and smiled a smile I could not read. Then she said that if I had courage enough, it might truly become possible. At first, I thought she was only teasing me.
Later, I explained that we had developed a way to alter a fertilized egg and activate the dormant hereditary memories inside it. A child born that way would come into the world carrying awakened experience from earlier generations.
That was when I slowly understood that what you wanted me to bear was not merely a child in the ordinary sense, but something like another self. If another mind held everything I had ever lived, would that not be my own life being born again?
In theory, it would be an adult housed in an infant's body. Such a child would speak unusually early, learn to walk at astonishing speed, and master other abilities far ahead of schedule, because that child would begin life already holding the knowledge and experience of a young adult. Even if the first generation did not prove extraordinary at once, the descendants surely would. Memory would accumulate generation after generation, and human civilization would be pushed toward wonders beyond our present imagination. You, then, would become a pioneer remembered by history.
And so the young woman conceived this child. A human experiment had begun in which a mother hoped to pass through her own womb and be born into a different fate.
But even now, we still do not know who my father is.
Because of technical limits, your mother could conceive only through artificial insemination, and the sperm donor demanded anonymity. Your mother agreed. In your life, that matters less than it would for other children, because what was activated was your mother's memory. In truth, we had already come close to awakening the hereditary memories of both parents at once, but we did not dare. We did not know what would happen if two complete inheritances of consciousness were forced to coexist in one mind.
And even when you awakened only mine, you still did not know what the consequences would be.
No, we did not. I must also admit my selfishness. It was not that I had never imagined bearing such a child myself. What stopped me was fear. If explicit hereditary memory were truly a blessing, why had human evolution buried so vast an advantage? Why had nature turned it off?
Doctor, I do not blame you. I came into this willingly. I truly wanted another chance at life.
But Mother, I am not you. I can feel it. The towns, the mountain roads, the thirst, the humiliation, all of that came to me from your mind. What belongs to me alone is only the feel of the amniotic water against my skin, the beating of your heart, and that dim red gold light.
That is our fatal mistake. To copy memory is not to copy a person. What makes a human being themselves includes much more than memory, and much of it can neither be inherited nor duplicated. Memory is like a heavy book. Different readers open it and arrive in different worlds. We place that crushing book in the hands of an unborn child.
That is exactly it. The city in my memory also held joy. The morning I left Jitao village, the dawn wind was cool, and I felt like a bird flying out of a cage. The first time I earned money in the city and walked into a grand department store, I was truly happy.
Yet in me, those same moments become terrifying. The day you left the village, you still had more than 30 li of mountain road before you could catch the bus in town, and only 16 wien in your pocket. What would happen when the money ran out? What was waiting outside? Every part of it was frightening, and the department store was crowded like an anthill. I am afraid of people, afraid of so many people. Everything outside is frightening, so I will not be born.
Then you also remember those winter mornings in Sitao village, when my grandparents dragged me out of the warm bedding before dawn to clean the sheep pen. Outside was darkness, knife-cold wind, sometimes snow. As a child, I only wanted to sleep a little longer, but no one can remain under the quilt forever.
But in those moments, you wanted exactly that. You wanted to remain forever in the warm bed, and now I want the same. I want to remain here forever. I will not be born.
Now I finally understand why nature sealed hereditary memory away. For human beings who grow ever more sensitive in spirit, ignorance at the beginning of life is a warm little room of protection. What we have done is drag your child out of that room and cast him naked into the wilderness of consciousness.
Auntie, then what is this cord on my belly really?
It is the umbilical cord. Before you are born, it gives you nourishment and oxygen. Child, it is your lifeline.
2 years later, on a spring morning, Dr. Ying and the mother stand in a cemetery. In the mother's arms is another child, a healthy infant born in the ordinary way.
Doctor, did you ever find it, that thing beyond memory in the brain? The thing that makes a person truly themselves?
No, I still do not know whether science can ever really find it. Love, from what place do you come? From the mind or from the heart? Never mind. It is only a pair of lines from Shakespeare that rose into my head.
The mother later built a family with a laboratory worker, and the baby in her arms is their natural child. But the fetus who had carried his mother's entire memory tore away his own umbilical cord in the stillness of that very night and became the smallest suicide in human history.
Now the two women stand before that tiny grave. Dr. Ying still looks at the infant with a researcher's gaze, but the child knows nothing of such a gaze. He only stretches out his delicate hands toward the willow catkins drifting through the morning mist, while joy and amazement burst from his bright black eyes.
To this child, the world is a flower opening before him, a marvelous toy. He is wholly unprepared for the long and unknowable road of life ahead, and therefore he is prepared for everything.
My little one, let us be on our way.